good morning. Welcome in. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well today. Friday's always a fun day, right? It throws us into the weekend. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more relaxed with that in mind. I'm hoping that things aren't too crazy. I hope you're doing well, obviously, always sending good vibes, good blessings your way. We're gonna start off with a little energy cleansing just to set the tone, the intention for the reading. These are collective messages. I am recording it on Friday the 2nd. Ooh, happy 2-2 portal. Whoop, whoop. We'll talk about that as we get going. But the messages are timeless. Whenever we watch it, if it resonates, then it's definitely meant for us. Spirit works in so many different ways to send us signs, symbols, messages, etc. And all we have to do is pay attention, right? Sometimes that's easier said than done because things can pop up that can be triggering. But I often feel like either it's there to show us something, or maybe, usually it's like how far we've come or what we can kind of rewrite for ourselves. So we're not falling into the same habits, the same patterns, disempowering ourselves. That's really what triggering can be if we don't manage it appropriately, or, if we're just having a harder time. And it's not to throw shame or shade at anyone. We all have difficulties. We all have credits and deficits. I've heard it that way, and I love it because it's true. It's like we don't have to shame ourselves or belittle ourselves just because there's aspects of our character that need a little love, that need a little care. And we've been coming through some really challenging things, obstacles. There's a lot of reshuffling happening in the collective, changes. And I think that what we're hoping for at this point, it's not saying you're not going to get what you want, but it's looking different than what we anticipate. And I think that's a heavy theme that we have to be aware of, because manifesting, it's a lot more fluid when we can be open to all potentials and all possibilities. That vibe of a stepping stone, getting us to the next space, so to speak. All right, let's get going with our little cleanse. You can totally participate if you want. You can skip ahead, whatever works best for you. All right. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything, all things that are blocking the highest and best messages for the collective. Any anger, frustration, pain, anxiety, fear of the unknown. Let's release and let it go. Help me to be a clear and open channel and honor those who are here. Amen. All right. So happy Friday. I love Friday because Friday's all about Venus. Venus vibes, Venus energy, our goddess potential. I think I like her a little bit. I mean, I love the goddess. I love the feminine for sure, but I love mama love. That's what resonates the most with me when it comes to Venus energy. It's really a day to honor our emotions, our feminine energy, regardless of what gender you are. We all have that masculine and feminine principle. And it is really important in these times right now because we're still feeling the tension. People, places, things are popping up that are, whether they're tests or triggers or however you want to look at it, Spirit is really just asking you to dial in and see how far you've come. Is this something that you still need to look at? Is this something that you still need to give yourself some love, some care, being gentle, etc.? Because this is living this life. It's about having our happiness, being fulfilled, enjoying what we're doing. And separating that from, the low vibey energies can be challenging because low vibey energies kind of put us in a position where we're like, get rich quick scheme. You know, it's instant gratification. Sometimes usually it's too good to be true. It's not necessarily authentically the step we need to make. And so we have to be able to tune in a little bit more to what spirit wants from us. I think this came up yesterday, the standing stone. So ancestor gateway sacred. I like this because we got that portal energy yesterday, and it really confirms that things are opening up. I definitely had this pop up for me as well within the last 12 hours, really. And that was the message I was hearing. I saw someone from my past, and you know, someone who kind of was, in my opinion, a front runner for a lot of negativity and drama and chaos in my life. And, you know, interestingly enough, it brought up some things, right, about what had happened. But I was really proud of myself because it didn't trigger me as much as what it normally would have. And later I continued on with what I was doing, my day, etc. And then as I was in the more quiet moments, I kept hearing that message. It's the end of an era. And right now we have that gateway. We have this, the portal open in front of us, and all we have to do is walk through. We're being supported by our higher powers, our ancestors, crossed over loved ones, spirit guides, guardian angels, and we really have to feel confident and strong in that knowledge. Even on the days that it is a little bit more difficult, right? Even on the days that we do see people, places, and things that trigger us, or we have a conversation that triggers us, etc. We're all connected, you know, and I was thinking about this value of really honoring and supporting each other, how much different life would look if we stopped judging and shaming anyone, you know, like just anyone we're around. I mean, I think it's always good to reflect and see places that you might do things differently, etc. But it goes back to that place I was talking about earlier. We all have our credits and deficits. And when we focus on the credits, when we focus on the things that people are good at, that we're good at, it actually really permeates the collective and it helps everybody. You know, and whether we like it or not, whether we like a person or a situation, whether we like it or not, it still is important to treat it with honor and respect. And it's too bad, so sad how often that doesn't happen in modern day. You know, there's something about that ego satisfaction of like, oh, they suck, or they're this, that, and the other. And it's like, yeah, maybe, but maybe there's a way to support. Maybe there's a way to lend a helping hand. The other side of this, if we get so fixated on other people, what they're doing right and wrong and blah, 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 it actually like plugs our energy into that vibration. Meaning, if you're always judging or shaming, then that's where your energy is going to be. Who wants to live that way? That's not fun, you know? Step out. I love this. Like, don't be so afraid of who you are. I was reflecting even in my own story how people, you know, when people bring you down, when they lie, when they shame your name, when they make you feel ashamed of who you are or what you're going through, it can put us in this mode where we want to hide. Maybe you have been hidden for a while. Maybe you are tending to your wounds, that mama love and care that we were talking about with the Venus energy. It's a great day to continue to do that. Because like I said, I feel like we're in this space where what we're working towards, our goals, our manifestations, they're coming in. I feel a lot more of that momentum. It's even showing up astrologically, but we're still having stuff pop up. And looking at it more as what's the next best step versus like what's the step towards the end goal. I hope that makes sense. It's not about accomplishing it tomorrow. It's about tuning into those more subtle energies, recognizing your path and what those next steps are. We can often overlook it because we're so excited for what's coming on the other side. I love the green man, nature, connection, source. So Spirit's really asking us to, the Green Man is like super magical, super powerful. He works with the earth energies. In some decks, he's equivalent to the Emperor, and the Emperor is that masculine potential. So what I love about this overarching energy for you today is it's talking about working with both those masculine and feminine energies. The more we love and take care of ourselves, self-love, self-care, honoring who we are, being gentle when we have difficulties that pop up, etc., the better we know the answer, that masculine principle, to move forward. What is the action that we have to take next? And Spirit is like really lighting the way is what I'm hearing for you. Like I said, we can't get too sucked into the end goal, the end result, because it's going to make things feel a little bit counterintuitive. And right now, the more we put ourselves out there, Mercury is sextile. I love this. High Priestess popped out 11:01 on the clock, confirming that energy of our own self-empowerment. Mercury is harmoniously aspected to Neptune. So the more that we tune into those subtler layers and listen to our guidance, our knowledge, where we have to put ourselves, people that we have to connect with, etc., the stronger it makes us. And the more it calls in that manifestation, whatever you're working to bring in, right? All right, let's get into the tarot. Outside energies, the world, I love this. So people, places, and things are recognizing that things are changing. It confirms that channeled message that I received in the wee hours of the morning of just, it is the end of an era. It's the end of a cycle. And, you know, I feel really excited today in terms of like, really just affirm and validate yourself for everything that you have overcome. I feel like you deserve a big pat on the back, a big reward. Treat yourself to something, you know. I had a little celebration for myself last night, and it was, you know, just very heart honoring. We need to be able to do those things for ourselves, especially if we're not having a lot of support in our external environment. 222 is on the clock. So those levels of partnership, and ironically, it is the 2-2 portal today. So twos are all about how we work in harmony with relationships. And point blank, yes, our most important relationship is with ourselves, but we need relationships in order to function in this life. So if we're gonna make a disaster out of everything, people, places, things that we come into contact with, it really makes it hard to, you know, overcome, to call in the things we want, to see that happiness and that fulfillment, because it is kind of a selfish energy, right? When people get really destructive, when they gossip, when they lie, control, manipulate, etc., it can be a very destructive path. I don't want to see you go down that path. It's not very fun. It might be ego gratifying in the moment, but you know, long term, it really doesn't help anyone or anything. That's why it's so important to be focused on our own energy, the things that we have going on. That value of we can't really control other people, places, and things. And this Page of Wands is asking us, again, it's confirmation on stepping out, having courage, putting yourself out front and center, speaking your accomplishments, speaking who you are, speaking what your intentions are. It reminds me of like fishing. You know, you're throwing out the bait, you're seeing who's gonna come in for you to support that, right? And I feel like right now, like, we're gonna have less obstacles. Yes, we wanna keep our antennae up, as we saw with the High Priestess, making sure that any new connections we come into, really vet those, but you can feel it. And I feel like you're strong enough, you're in this place where, you know, your intuition is super heightened. So trust it. Trust your heart, your mind, your soul, what you feel about the new connections that you're making, and really like Step out, take a chance is what I'm hearing. You might have to take a chance today in a way that you weren't anticipating. Again, kind of in that theme of the stepping stone that I was talking about earlier. But don't be afraid. We all get that nervous anxiety when we have to do something that isn't so comfortable, but it's also like fuel, right? It can become that inspiration, the excitement that gives us this energy to really dive into what we are passionate about. It's not your fault, like is what I'm hearing. It's not your fault. The people, places, and things maybe had good intention. Maybe, whatever, they want to justify bad behavior, but at the same time, like, it's not your responsibility is what I'm hearing. This is how it was meant to unfold. With that Knight of Cups energy, it's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It's someone who has great intention. They might be a lover. They might, want the best, but their follow through is subpar. Meaning like, they can't really act according to what they say, they don't walk their talk. That's what it is. Sorry, Knight of Cups. But I feel like honestly, it's leading you in this amazing direction. We've been seeing this partnership pop up left and right for us in the readings over the past week or two, which again is very exciting. This person, this community, this situation is coming in for you that I feel like is meant. It's like your soul tribe is what I'm hearing. It's a meant to be. And it's people who have your back. It's people who are supporting you. It's people who can be more empathetic and understanding. Keep pushing forward towards your victory. We're getting confirmation all across the board that it is good to be selfish today, never in a rude or harming way against anyone else, Obviously, it's the day of love. I am a lover. But we want to make sure that we're honoring ourselves first and foremost. Because as things change, as these portals, these gateways open up, it can be very scary. And we feel more grounded and stable when we're actually taking care of our mind, our body, and our soul. Sorry, guys. I don't know why. Okay, Ivy. Ooh, I love this. So I'm going to read these out of the book. As I mentioned yesterday, these are like... I love these decks. They're so amazing. And I like how they talk about the symbolism, the energy. Ivy is something that can overcome, right? So prophecy, connection, death, and rebirth. I love that. Ivy has, since classic times, been associated with prophetic intoxication, sought by the Druids particularly for creativity, so that their work is inspired by something greater than their own personality alone. Getting that inspiration from our environment. How I was talking about the value of relationships and connections, hearing people's stories, it really helps inspire us on our own path, right? Even if we're not living the same life or we don't want the same things as them, that's a moot point, right? This is more about like finding inspiration and getting excited about it. And then as we see with this Daughter of Wands, taking action, making it happen, searching out around you and your surroundings. Okay, inspiration is coming to you and you should seek it. To be receptive, you will need to still your mind, which will mean first resolving any conflict or confusion that is still troubling you. The way to feel free and to forget yourself may lie in apparently opposite direction of becoming more aware of yourself and that which limits you. The poet, not French, Robert Frost says, the best way out is always through. And you may have to plumb the depths of the issue that troubles you before you can find freedom of them. Alternately, this card may be affirming for you that belief of life is cyclical and that nothing is truly lost. And it is so true, right? Like life is that, it's layering. It's like an onion. We peel away one layer and then we have this next stage of evolution. It doesn't always feel comfortable, right? Onions can make us cry, you know, that I just came up with. I'm proud of that one. But it really just speaks to how, yes, we have to grieve the past. We have to, and this has been a collective theme, letting go, processing, having awareness and understanding around those situations, how you showed up, how the other person showed up, what you can do differently. It's not about making everyone else bad and you being perfect, right? It's that value of recognizing there are credits and deficits. And sometimes when we come into relationship, it is about exemplifying those deficits so we can love them and give them more healing. I know this path is not easy, but I am really excited for what's on the other side. And I would love to just hear how this shows up for you, how it resonates in your life. Thank you always for the time and energy tuning in. It's such a blessing to my heart. I hope it blesses yours as well. I'm sending all the love and blessings today. Have a fabulous Friday.